Today's video, we're going to be checking out the Disney Store Star Wars toy box. This is figure 2. This is Rey. Let's grab a tape measure. Rey is just shy of 5 inches in height. We already looked at the pamphlet with Kylo, so we won't spend a lot of time looking at the pamphlet again. She does come with a lightsaber, a silver hilted lightsaber to be exact, with some nice black paint. Slightly, looks like the paint has come off a little bit on the end there. And she's got the little red button, not she, but the lightsaber has a little red button on the top and on the bottom. It doesn't as much look like a Twizzler as Kylo's lightsaber, and of course it's a little bit smaller. That fits perfectly into her hand. It only fits on one hand. On the other hand, I really should make a t-shirt for that. On the other hand, her other hand is kind of doing Jedi stuff, slightly open. To give you a scale comparison, as we know already that Rey is a little bit smaller, but just how much smaller she is, let's pick her up. Unfortunately, these figures are, well, Rey specifically, she's got very, very small feet. And I find that her feet just don't stand properly. Let's get her to put the lightsaber back in her hand. There we go. All right. As I was saying, a scale comparison. Let's bring in Kylo. So you can see the difference between the two sized figures. Of course, Kylo is a lot bigger than Rey. Considerably, I would say. And also the lightsabers are quite a bit of size difference as well. But they complement each other quite well, I have to say. Despite the fact that both of them do have some difficulty standing. Oh, don't worry, she does have peg holes on the undersides of her feet, but unfortunately, she comes with 0 in the way of a display base. I don't know why they, once again, would include that. Let's go ahead and take the lightsaber out of her hand and have a look at this figure. I think I did pick up a Rey from the Disney Infinity. Of course, it wasn't posable. That's one of the beauties of these new toy box figures, is the fact that they are super posable. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's have a look at her face, though. Face is pretty good, actually. She kind of looks a little bit more like either Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman on Themyscira, or she looks like Angelina Jolie. But still, it's a decent enough face for Rey. Hair sculpt is pretty good. I like the back of the hair. Got a little bit of paint, looks like, on the side of her head. But yeah, pretty good head sculpt. Doesn't really look like Rey, but that's okay. Her outfit is a combination of beiges and browns. There's the back of it right there. Very large boots, but unfortunately she has the toughest time standing. I don't even know if most of the problem is actually in the feet or just the way that the legs stand. Like, it just seems like I'm always kind of adjusting the figure. She's toppling over, she's falling over. A display stand, I have to say, would come in handy. They could put the Disney, logo on it, and they could put Toybox, for example, on it. I don't know why they don't do that. It would certainly help to display these figures a lot more dynamic than what just simply standing them on a shelf like that. It's nice sculpting on the wraps here on her sleeves. And she's got the little belt on the side of her wrap. The wrap does not seem to limit any sort of, well, that's not true. It does limit it on one side. It does not so much limit it on the other. But by the stance that the figure is on anyways, it's very difficult to get her to stand. That, sure, this could have gone out a little bit further, but it doesn't really bother me all that much. The sculpting on the boots is actually pretty good. Just wish that they could actually pose a little bit better. Like the Kylo, she only has the hinge on the ankle. I would love if they could have incorporated a rocker so that you could get her a little bit more dynamic, but that is what it is. Really good looking sculpt, though, I have to admit. Even if this face sculpt is a little on the questionable side. Posability on her, by the way. Her head rotates all the way around. I'd say that she has a universal joint, but from the looks of it, yeah, it is only a ball joint. But ball joints work perfectly fine for me. Universal joints on the arms, so they rotate out all the way around as well. There's a swivel on the forearm as well as the hinge back and forth. And she has a rotation and hinge on the hand. So that's pretty consistent. Waist swivel, from the looks of it, yes. Although it is underneath her cloak, her strap, her robe here. And of course the belt kind of keeps everything together. So you can rotate her, but not really a whole heck of a lot. As we already discussed, her legs do hinge outward. I suppose what you could always do, kind of bend the leg like this, kind of rotate it. Look at this guy. Look at this guy being a posing master. Okay, not the greatest, but yeah, you could get her still in some pretty decent enough poses. This is where, of course, a display stand would come ever so handy, but unfortunately she just doesn't have it. Got the bend at the knee, and that rotates the lower leg, and she's got the hinge also in her foot, as well as of course, the current Star Wars universe. What, episode 7, 8, and then subsequently 9, 10, 15, 17, 28, 37. I would love to see the Toybox stuff make it to like classic Star Wars figures as well, like a classic Luke, Darth Vader would be awesome. A little Yoda, a little tiny Yoda. Would really like those also as well. I think Rey turned out great. However, as you can probably see in her feet there, putting ankle rockers in these figures really could help a long way. They have articulation so good in the arms and the legs that, well, unfortunately the ankles suffer as a result of it, and I just can't quite get her in a cooler looking pose. As a side note, I certainly would love to see Disney incorporate display bases. Display bases, I think, would also unify the entire line, whether it be, Star Wars, Marvel, the Pixar stuff. If they all kind of had the same consistent stands, I think that would also help tie these figures all together as well. As I mentioned also in the review, love to see them also approach the old original Star Wars stuff. Not necessarily the prequels, but certainly episodes 4, 5, and 6. That would be pretty fun as well. I do like this one. I don't think it really looks all that much like her, even as a simplified, downsized version of Rey. I still don't think the face really looks all that much like her, but I still really like how the figure comes together. She's very poseable. She has all the great aspects of the Disney Infinity that I liked really, really a lot, just in a figure now that I can actually pose. And I think that's the big sell for this Disney Toybox line, is that you're getting figures that look like Disney Infinity stuff, but you get also the articulation as well. And I think that's very, very important. Definitely interested to see more of these figures come out to stores, which, as far as I know, is only at Disney stores. So if you are looking to pick up any of these for yourself, the Disney store is your best bet, unless you want to order it online as well. Today we're having a look at figure number 2 from the Disney Store Star Wars Toy Box. This was Rey. Kind of looks like Angelina Jolie. If you guys haven't had a chance yet to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that little subscribe button just below this video. You'll never miss a beat when it comes to future videos. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.